I'll jump in and throw my first one out there. The guy I immediately thought of was Sammy Watkins, and that doesn't taste right saying that really because I've never really been a big Sammy Watkins fan, and maybe it's a little bit of homerism because I am a Packers fan, but I've always believed that Aaron Rodgers can bring out the best in his receivers, especially, and we've seen it time and time again, whenever Devontae wasn't available, or maybe even before Devontae was really the Devontae Adams that he became. He had to play with some misfit toys from time to time, and he could turn secondary veterans into pretty good receivers. There's something inside me that tells me Sammy Watkins, not only is he going to make the team and play, but there's a chance that if he can stay on the field, stay healthy, which has been a problem for Sammy Watkins as well, I think Rodgers is going to like him. He can get enough separation. He's a guy he can trust. I think there's a path to 60, 70 catches for Sammy Watkins. And right now he's at 242 in our rankings. He's going a little higher than that in redraft leagues, but I mean, that's good enough that you can maybe consider him a flex as early as week 1.
I went with the tight end, Austin Hooper. Of course, now with the Tennessee Titans, I think he has some opportunity as well, and lots of questions with their pass catchers. Robert Woods coming off that injury, new team. We'll see if he's fully healthy. And then we've already talked about Treylon Burks, the rookie coming in with some questions himself about his availability and his ability to play at this level. So, I mean, we're looking at Hooper as a guy who could definitely be the second option in this offense at worst. And he's already put up a couple of top 6 seasons at tight end. So not only do I think he can be that occasional fill-in tight end starter, I think he could be a tight end 1 by the end of the season.
We were all very excited for Donald Parham, and we like his story and all that kind of stuff. But I think we have to just realize that Gerald Everett is the better athlete, and that's what matters at the tight end position, getting the ball thrown to him by one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. There's not really a lot of nuance here. It's just there's going to be a lot of points scored in that AFC West division. I'm not sure if you've looked at that division lately, but it's pretty good. So I see a lot of high-scoring games, and when that happens, we get the tight end involved. So I like Gerald Everett.
Kind of a similar story with Hooper. I guess the only change is this guy's not on a new team. Robert Tonyan, Packers tight end, similar to what you were saying with Sammy Watkins, just chasing some pass catchers on this offense, because depending on how you feel about Allen Lazard, there's not necessarily that established threat at the pass catching positions. Robert Tonyan, tight end 5 a couple years ago. He did that on the back of 11 touchdowns, and now competing with Allen Lazard, Watson, Watkins, Randall Cobb. I think we could see Tonyan not necessarily repeat that double-digit touchdown performance, but at least have high single digits, 7, 8, 9 touchdowns would not be a surprise. And we talk a lot about vacated targets, and you can think about that what you will, but the Packers have vacated touchdowns, right? They lost 14 receiving touchdowns between Devontae Adams and MVS last year. That's 36% of their receiving touchdowns on the season. So I think Tonyan could be the beneficiary there.
My last guy I wanted to talk about is Darrel Williams, the running back that certainly you're thinking, yeah, I remember that name. I've seen him around. He's had a couple nice games. You may not know he's in Arizona now. He's down there kind of taking the same path, I would say, as James Conner did a year ago. And James Conner is really the only show in town right there at running back. And there's, everybody's talking about Conner as the guy who can't continue that production, right? That efficiency from a year ago where he's scoring all those touchdowns every single week. But Arizona's going to continue to run that high-flying offense, plays around the goal line, got to turn around and hand it to somebody. I think there's an avenue to Darrel Williams getting some of those touches and being flex-worthy. And as we all know, if James Conner goes down with nobody else to turn around and hand the ball to, Darrel Williams could have a stretch this season where he could put up those kinds of numbers that James Conner did last year. We're getting him for free right now. He's on waiver wires out there that don't run through the offseason. I'm sure of it. So if you have a chance to add Darrel Williams as a throw-in a trade or off the waiver wire, I think that could pay off big time at some point in 2022.